What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we are checking out the Chvrchbvrner from This Heavy Earth Effects. Let's do it! Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. As I said, we are checking out the Chvrchbvrner pedal from This Heavy Earth Effects. Or as it's more properly pronounced, the Chvrchbvrner. Real quick, if this is your first time here at my channel, what I do is I take awesome high gain amps or preamp pedals, overdrives, guitar cabinets, pickups. I record them with a simple SM57 setup, and I give you guys the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into E-standard thrash riffs, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes who think that they're funny but are actually pathetic losers, you're in the right place. Consider hitting that like button on the way out and subscribing so you don't miss any more of my videos. Thanks! Okay guys, so that intro clip that you heard was the Chvrchbvrner running through the PRS MT15 clean channel. This pedal is described by Shay at This Heavy Earth as a preamp slash distortion slash overdrive pedal. First off, let me start by saying that this is probably one of the best looking pedals I have ever seen. The matte black with the black print, the black switch, everything, it's got such a nice, sleek look to it. And if you guys check out This Heavy Earth's website, you'll see that all of Shay's pedals actually carry this same level of visual quality. They're all absolutely awesome looking pedals. And luckily for this one, I can tell you that the sound matches the quality of the finish. But yeah, just looking at his stuff, you can tell it's high quality. I look at most of his pedals. I don't know what half of them are, but I want them because they look great. But yeah, quick thanks to Shay for sending this out to me to check out. And even though he sent me this pedal for free for a review, you guys are gonna get my absolute honest thoughts and opinions as always. So we've got a lot of ground to cover because this thing not only does a lot, but it's got knobs on knobs on knobs. So we got a lot of stuff to go over here. Because we got the sleek blacked out look, we got the blacked out MT15, I am playing my Balaguer Guitars Espada that is also blacked out. And we're gonna take a quick look at the controls on this pedal. So starting at the top left, you've got a level that's your output that controls the overall volume of the pedal. We've got a post gain, which controls the level of hard clipping. You've got a pre-gain, which controls the level of soft clipping. You can kind of blend those as they will shape kind of the structure, the saturation a little bit as you blend them together. So if you want more hard clipping, turn the post up. If you want more soft clipping, turn the pre up. In the middle here, you've got your 3 EQ controls, the high, mid, and the low. And all 3 of those controls can either cut or boost. So there's a lot of flexibility in those EQ controls. Down here, bottom left, you've got a presence control, and on the bottom right, you've got a tight control. This tight control actually is very useful. It does control the amount of low end going into the distortion or the clipping of the pedal. So if you turn that control up, it'll tighten your signal, but it'll also take out a good amount of the low end depending on how far you turn it up. I did forget to mention, we were boosting this pedal with the Deadwell Duality on the green channel, the Tube Screamer style channel. This pedal, as a preamp pedal, takes a boost better than any pedal that I have played so far. Some preamp pedals do not take a boost well at all. In fact, I found that most of them don't take a boost well at all. This one takes it like a champ. It reacts in the same way that you would expect a real amp to react. So that is a major plus because I like to shape my tone with boosts going into the amp, and being able to boost this to kind of control it a little bit better works really well for me. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put the EQs back to noon. I'm gonna put the tight all the way down. I'm gonna turn that boost off. I'm gonna turn the post gains down to 9 o'clock. Okay, so here is the clean tone of the PRS MT15 with the pedal off. All right, so as you can tell, it's a pretty flat, neutral sounding clean tone. Let's kick the pedal on. All right, sounds kind of mushy and gross like that. It definitely needs some more gain to start with. So let's turn up both the post and the pre's. We're already pretty saturated there, but it's sounding pretty flubby and kind of lifeless. Let's turn that presence up. I've noticed that you need to have the presence up quite a bit. The presence actually affects the mids more than it affects the high frequencies on this, so keep that in mind. So if we turn that down, it'll probably sound a little bit scoopier. Exactly, so I'm actually gonna leave that there. And we're going to turn the highs up on the pedal. So it's pretty fat sounding like that. I'm actually gonna turn this ISP decimator on because we're getting some noise. All right, sounds fat. Let's dial up that tight control. So as you can tell, it's much tighter, but also a lot of the saturation has been removed. So we're gonna play around a little bit with the, first of all, let's boost the lows up because that took out a lot of our low end. Now we've got a healthy low end reaction. Let's check out what boosting the pre-gain does. All right, so let's bump that back down. Let's check out the post gain. Okay, so the post gain, when you turn that up, it tends to sound a little bit rattier, and the pre-gain, it tends to be a little bit of a smoother distortion, hence the hard clipping and the soft clipping. All right, so that sounds pretty cool. Let's bump that presence up, get a little bit more upper mids going. We're still not super saturated as of yet, so let's bump both the pre and the post. Now, as you do that, it does tend to get a little bit muddier. Let's get a little bit more of the tight going on. Okay, and let's also dial in some mids and a little bit more highs. Okay, so I'm gonna actually add a tad bit of presence from the PRS. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds really good. Let's get a little bit more mids and let's add a little bit more tight. All right, that sounded really good to me. Also, I forgot to mention on the side, there are clipping switches, and I actually have the top two in the up position and the bottom one in the down position. Now, all three of them, if they're down, they're all technically off. If you bump them up, that affects the clipping in some way. It kind of actually seems to enhance it a little bit. So here's with everything off. More open, brighter, a little rattier. Let's turn the top clipping up. Middle. And finally the bottom. The bottom has a really strange effect. You'll hear exactly what I'm talking about. I keep this one off. So the bottom one just sounds like it's like completely overloaded or something. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. But yeah, I've noticed that I just kind of like to have both of them up. Here's with both of them off again. Let's try that middle one. I like the middle one up. Let's keep it like that for now. I'm gonna bump those mids a little bit more. I'm gonna pull that mid presence back, and I'm gonna bump the gains just a little bit. All right, so that sounds really, really cool. It's got kind of like a scoopy thing going on, I guess. Just a really mean and open kind of distortion. It's got a lot of, I believe the post, the hard clipping is having a big effect when it's this high because it sounds, the distortion sounds kind of broken up and not smooth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to pull those back a little bit. We're gonna pull that tight knob back. I'm gonna kick in a boost and I'll show you how that sounds. So we can turn that tight up just a little bit, add some lows from the EQ here. Let's dial those highs back just a tad. All right, so that sounds really cool. We're going to pull those mids back and we're gonna pull the presence back and bump the highs just a tad. There we go, that's a really nice sounding tone. All right guys, so the last thing that we're gonna do today, I'm gonna run the pedal directly into my interface, run it through a power amp simulation and a couple of the fantastic York Audio IR packs. We're gonna combine a V30 with an SM57 and an Omega Eminence DV77 speaker and see how this pedal sounds going into the interface, see what kind of usable recorded tone that we can get with no external power amp, no external speaker cabinet or anything like that. Real quick though, I need to mention that this whole time I was playing the PRS MT15 through my Marshall Mode 4 280 cabinet. I had an SM57 directly on the V30 where the cone meets the dust cap as I normally would mic up all of my normal amp demos and stuff. I'm stupid and spacey and completely forgot to mention that in the beginning of the video. But anyways, yeah, let's see how this thing sounds going directly in. I am still boosting it with the Deadwell Duality TS9 side because I really think that this pedal sounds great with a boost in front, but I will turn it off and show you guys how it sounds unboosted towards the end. Alright guys, so that is gonna do it for me today on the This Heavy Earth Chvrchbvrner or Chvrchbvrner. Okay, it wasn't funny the first time, it wasn't funny the second time. But yeah, what did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I think that this thing sounds really, really good. I think it's one of the better preamp pedals that I have tried where it actually feels much more like a real amp and reacts to a boost like a real amp than a lot of the other pedals. Like I said, the KSR series is still kind of my gold standard for preamp pedals as far as guitar directly into the pedal with no boost out front, because that thing sounds so incredibly good plugging straight in, but that doesn't allow me to use the boost that I like and kind of flavor my tone the way that I like it. So I'm kind of gravitating towards preamp pedals that will allow me to do that. This one is absolutely one of them. I can't say enough good things. At $180, the options on this pedal are absolutely incredible. Shay is a great dude to talk to. He uses top quality components. Everything is hand built by him here in the USA. I really don't think that you're gonna find a better deal from a small boutique builder than this pedal. And not only is it priced right, not only does it look great, but it sounds great. That's what's most important. It sounds fantastic. I'm super pumped that I have this in my arsenal now, and I'm sure that I'm gonna be using it in the future as part of like a pedal board fly rig or something like that, because it really does sound that good. I'm gonna take it to practice at some point, hook it up and see how it sounds in the context of a band mix. But yeah, man, I'm very impressed with this thing. So again, let me know what you guys thought about this pedal down in the comments. Does this sound like something that you wanna add to your arsenal? Did it sound like it was lacking anything to you? My only complaint about it is it doesn't seem to have a ton of high-end sizzle or bite. I really had to crank that high end almost all the way to really get like a PV5150 style bite out of it. But other than that, I was happy with it all around. So thanks again, guys. If you like this video, consider hitting the like button, subscribing on your way out so you don't miss anything else. Down in the description of the video, I'll put the link to find this pedal. I will also have the links to my Sweetwater affiliate page, my Patreon. Those both massively help me out with the channel. My Facebook group and Discord server where I hang out and talk gear all day with you guys. I'd love to have you guys be a part of that. And with all that said, Kyle here again. We'll see you guys next time.